Hi, this is Pete Williams for Unico. Today we're going to talk about an additional step in checking out the performance of the system. You remember this from last time, the laptop that we have here. This is connected through a USB to USB port with our EC motor. And as you can see from looking at this, we have this set up with a thermostat override for high cool, which we set at 625 CFM. Now we have exactly 625 CFM of air, and it's bouncing around a little bit, but it's running at about 1357 RPM. Remember, the RPM will vary based upon how much static pressure there is in the system. And that's what this device here does. This device is called a Magna Helix. I believe Magna Helix is a trade name. It's referred to generically as a manometer. This measures of inches of water pressure. Now the main thing we want to find out with Unico is we don't want to have more than 1.5 inches of static pressure, which is indicated by this indicator right here. If we have more than 1.5 inches of static pressure, we have a very restricted system, something's very wrong, and the readings that we get from the computer screen will not be correct. So this system is running at about 1.25 inches of static pressure. That's within acceptable ranges. As we add more outlets and we set the system to a lower RPM, a lower CFM, you will see a change in the Magna Helix setting. So we're going to run this now on a lower speed. We're going to turn this down to 400 CFM, 468 CFM to be precise. Again, it takes a minute or so for this to ramp down. So you heard the contact click in. So it's ramping down. So now we're down to first stage cooling. This would be if you had a two-stage condensing unit. You notice now that your Magna Helix is indicating less than 1 inch of static pressure. We're down to about 0.8. And based upon past experience, 0.8 is about normal for a conventional setup with Unico for operation. One last thing here with the Magna Helix. Let's set this to fan speed, which in this case is 213 CFM. And see how that affects our Magna Helix. Again, the static pressure basically indicates how much resistance is in the system. Before we had the current motors, this is before 1994, this was the only way to measure a Unico system to see if it was operating. It was through the Magna Helix and through static pressure. This is not used as often today as in the past, but it still is very helpful in troubleshooting problems. So now we're down to about 400 CFM. Hasn't changed much. It's still about 0.8, 0.6, somewhere in that neighborhood. But again, the Magna Helix is a good device to keep on your truck. We do have this as part of the Unico commissioning sheet. We do like to see that if you're having a problem, to check out what the static pressure is, and this is the easy way to do it. Thank you very much.